Takata announced that it's filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and that's just in the United States. It's also going through a Japanese equivalent in its, I guess you might call it its home jurisdiction. So there's going to be parallel bankruptcies going on. It filed because it's been emerging for the past years, the increasing onslaught of these airbag recall claims are going to swamp it over, and it doesn't have the ability to pay that amount of money. So right now we're in the midst of a huge recall campaign, and not just millions, tens of millions of these airbags have to be recalled. And even if you have the most diligent mechanics working overtime, they can't do that in a week. So number one, you're not going to see a change if you have a recall. Number two, if you're someone with a claim against Takata, like you've been injured or your family member's been injured, then you are a creditor. And even if you haven't had a chance to go before the jury and they haven't tried your case, or maybe they're settling your case or whatever, you are still a creditor and you have right to participate in this bankruptcy proceeding. So the most interesting for me is you have a bunch of victims who, through no fault of their own, have been randomly hurt, crippled, killed by these airbags, okay? And so that's terrible, and you feel bad for them, and I feel bad for them, okay? And on the other hand, you have these other innocent people who work at this company who did not cover up the fraud. There's tens of thousands of them, okay? But for that criminal fraud, this is a company that still makes things and still employs people and still should chug along and do business. And that's sort of the difficult question of bankruptcy, which is, do you want to kill a company and use all the remaining assets to pay off victims of harm, or do you want to keep the company intact and try to maximize the amount of money that the victims can get? This deal is going to be an attempt to try to keep the company alive, keep as many jobs as they can, and move forward, and then maximize the amount that the sale goes for. And I suspect a brunt of that money is going to go out to the victims. But we just don't know whether it's going to be a fair outcome or not, because we don't know how much money they're going to get.